All right, guys, welcome back to El Blurmatic, guys. Just waiting on the guests to pop in, so we can get this party started, or I should say, content creator seats. Master Sword Music. Just let me know when you're here, and we're gonna take it from there. So let's see if you. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm back, guys. Give me a sec, and trying to see if okay, add to stream. There we go. Master Sword,
Hey,
what's going on, man?
what's up? What's up? How's it going, bro?
Oh, good, man. So, today's new segment, this is something new that I've been doing with content creators. Content creator hot seat, guys. This is Master Story Music, also known as TJ the Gamer.
Yes, sir.
And today's new is a segment of content creators trying to get to learn a little bit more about the content creators with question and answer, and just tell them a little bit about you, bro.
Well, as he mentioned, I am TJ the Gamer, and my channel is known as Master Sword Music. And basically, what I do is I make music for gamers. Uh, I
Okay.
like to create my music based on video games and video game themes, and that's pretty much what I do.
All right, bro. So you ready for the question and answer?
Yes, let's do this, man. Let's do it.
Okay, so the first question, and I've always wondered, was Master Sword Music always the name, or was it like a monkier name before that?
Okay. All right. So before I actually had a different channel, and the original channel was just known as TJ the Gamer. And
Okay,
it was pretty much the same kind of content. I was doing video game remixes and doing the video game theme songs. But then the idea kind of evolved,
okay,
where Master Sword Music became more than just about me. And I started working with other artists like, like Switchbit, Thousand Star, Katie Savage,
right.
VG Mobster. Like we all just started collaborating on music. And I decided to make Master Sword Music kind of like a record label, if you think about it that way.
Okay,
Whereas
okay,
Master Sword
that's
Music is I am, the main artist, but I also work with other artists among Twitter and YouTube, and Master Sword Music kind of became like a group, like a family kind of thing.
okay, okay. Yeah, I often wonder. I said, man, I said I never asked him that. I said, wow, this would be great to figure it out. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Cajun Blurred Eye. What's going on, man? Hey, man, just interviewing one of our YouTuber peers, bro. That's
What's up?
putting out
What's
the
up?
music. So my next question for you: how is your process of making music? Because, bro, every time I look around, you are consistently dropping music every week, bro. And I know people that do music on YouTube that do not do that.
Well, my process is different.
Okay, okay,
um, but for me, mostly because I do all of the work myself. Like I do all the
okay,
production, I do all the writing, I do all the
okay,
the recording, the mixing, the mastering. So it's like for me, it usually starts with the beat. Like I usually
okay,
just put my beat together, and once I hear the music and the beat, that kind of
hmm,
lets me know what direction the song is going in.
okay, okay. That's a
And
nice
then
process.
and then I kind of just write from there. So like once I start writing, I start picking out my theme. Like, okay, this one is going to be based on Pokemon, or this one's going to be based on Street Fighter, or
Okay,
and then I kind of just build the idea around that. And
okay.
I've been doing it for quite some time. I just never actually been putting it out. So like a lot of the music that you've seen is stuff that I've just like been backlogged. So like
Okay.
while I'm putting out the backlog, I'm creating new music. So like it allows me to like basically stay ahead of myself. So I'm
Wow.
always putting out music.
Yeah, that's dope, bro. That you're really self-sufficient, man. Yeah, that's a great way to go about it. Because sometimes you have people where it's like, yo, well, so and so do this, the other person do that. It's like, well, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? So it's great that you're really a self-sufficient type of person. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when people do music, you can kind of tell who's like a little bit more dedicated versus is not dedicated. Where they like, okay, well, I mix and master, I produce, I write. I create the video, and some people only kind of limit themselves. So that's really great that you're like that, man. That's awesome. I
Yeah,
can't lie. That's definitely awesome. So
I
the
had no
next
choice.
question.
I couldn't afford nobody. I couldn't afford to pay nobody to do it, so I do it all myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a great way to look at it, man. Because yeah, you have to pay people to do all these different things, and with you willing and open to learn things, that's really great. To be honest, man. Yeah. So my next question is: I know you're a master sword of music. So, what is one of your favorite weapons that Link uses from the Zelda game?
Well,
Okay.
it's the Master Sword.
Okay.
I love. I just. It's just such an iconic item in
Okay.
like Zelda. Well, the reason why I go by Master Sword music is obviously because I am a huge Zelda fan.
Oh yeah,
Like
of course.
Zelda is like my favorite video game franchise of all time.
Okay.
And one of the most consistent weapons in that series is the Master Sword. And it's
Yeah.
always the go-to. It's always the weapon that finalizes the battle. Without the Master Sword, you can't really complete even most of the games. So
Right.
like
That's
for me, that
very
weapon has
true.
just become so iconic. It's like you think of Link, you think of the Master Sword. So it's just like for me, that's just
Yeah.
always been my favorite.
Okay, I thought you may have had some other favorites besides the main weapon, but yeah, it's like his trademark. Yeah, when it comes to Link, when you think of Link, you're like, okay, you can't have like it's cool. You got all these other weapons and swords, but we know the Master Sword is the primary weapon that he uses. Like every character in video games has some type of signature move or weapon, and you're like, yep, that's
That's the
it.
one. And that's kind of how my name came across too, because like the Master Sword in my case is like my
Hmm.
microphone basically.
Okay.
So like the Master Sword represents me on the mic. So like my iconic weapon is the microphone. Just
Oh, I
as the
like that,
Master
man.
Sword,
Yeah, I like the kind of how
yes.
you got that going. Okay, that's really cool.
So as Link is to the Master Sword, I am to the microphone.
Right, right, right. So my next question, I'm gonna skip past this. I'm gonna go back to it though. What are some of your favorite Zelda villains? Do you have any favorite Zelda villains?
That's a tough one.
Okay.
Favorite Zelda villain.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, I will say I really do love Girahim from
Okay.
Skyward Sword.
Hmm.
He was he was just a very creepy, just like villain. Like those are the kind of villains I
Okay.
usually go for. It's like I am just a bad guy, kind of bad guy, and those are the ones I usually go for. So I love
Okay.
Girahim.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
Demise was awesome as well from Skyward Sword. Like
Okay.
Demise was also very cool. Like just knowing
Yeah.
that he was like the original Zelda villain who kind of gave birth to all the other
Wow.
ones.
Yeah,
So
that's
like
neat, man. Yeah, you
I
got
love
your
that.
particular taste in villains. Nothing wrong with that. I was surprised you didn't say Ganondorf.
Ganon, I love Ganondorf too, but he's always the villain. Like he's usually the bad guy in most of the. So I usually go for like the sub villain. Like I said, like Girahim or like
Okay.
what was the guy from Twilight Princess? I can't think of his name now.
Okay.
It's bothering me. I can't think of his name now, but that
They come
guy
back
and
to you.
then
Yeah. Yeah, that's good though. You're more into like the mini villains, or like side villains.
yeah, like the sub villain, the
Okay.
one that ends up being like, oh, I'm being controlled by Ganon. Because like I said, Ganon always shows up, so it's like you just kind of expect him to be there.
Okay. Yeah,
Whereas with
that's
some of the
that's a
other
good
ones, you get more personality out of some of the other ones.
right, right. When you think about it, again, it is always the main villain. Like if you think about it, yeah, almost every Zelda game, you're right.
Pretty much.
So my next question, let me just go to the next page. Um, I noticed, bro, that you play musical instruments. And I wanted to ask you, what other music instruments do you play? I know you play the drums. I'm not sure if you play the keyboard or anything or not, but yeah, I'm interested to know, man.
Well, it's oddly enough, I play a little bit of everything, but I would say my main
Okay.
instrument is the drums. That is the first instrument I ever picked up was the drums. But I
Wow.
do play a little bit of keyboard because it helps with production, and I
Okay.
also play acoustic and electric guitar, and I'm learning
Wow.
bass.
Wow, that's what's up, bro. Yeah, that's really cool that you play. I kind of figured though with drums that was kind of like I said, this dude really is killing it with the drums. Like this is definitely something that you could tell he's already kind of had like a natural side to him. I seen the videos like, Yeah, he been playing drums for some years.
Yeah, I started playing drums at a young. I started playing drums when I was probably like 10 or 11.
Wow, bro. You know what? I used to play the instrument, bro, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to play the clarinet and the
Okay.
trumpet, and I never stuck to it. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, I forgot. I play the sax too. I haven't played the sax in a long time, but I
Okay,
do also play sax.
okay, yeah. It just was like, man, it's crazy. Yeah, I didn't stay dedicated to it, but I mean, the flute, I will say, is one of my favorite instruments. So, like, when I hear a flute in the song, I'm just like, oh my God,
Like,
this
oh
is
yeah, oh yeah.
one of my songs, you know.
It feels
But yeah, that's
different.
good that you play a little bit of everything, bro. It's good that you're, versatile with your, not just sticking to one thing with making like beats and just instruments. Sometimes, to me, instrumentation makes sometimes the music better instead of just like, making beats and stuff. So it's really cool that you have that edge about yourself, man.
Yeah, it definitely helps. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I learned these instruments because it helps me with my production. Like if
Right,
I understand how an instrument works, I can better use it in a
right,
song. You know?
right. Let me see what King Cajun Blur said. I like the Master Sword with the mic. And I love the boss fight in Skyward Sword. It was the first Zelda I beat. Wow. Okay, that's what's up, bro. Yeah, Zelda games, they're not always easy. So my next Mhm. Oh, go ahead, bro.
Oh,
You
you go
good?
ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, so my next question, how did the Master Sword family begin? Like, did you guys were you all online or do you kind of know some of these people not on this platform, like on YouTube?
It's interesting. It actually started with my guy Switchbit,
Okay.
who you see. I've worked with him on sub, basically since my first album ever came out,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I was, doing my channel and everything, and he
Hmm.
actually reached out to me because
Wow.
he was like, "Man, I really like what you're doing. It's really cool that you're doing this video game hip hop thing, and
Right.
I'm kind of interested in doing that." So he put together this song based on
Hmm.
Octopath Traveler. He was
Okay.
like, "I want you to listen to this, man, and see, if you think I'm any good or if you think this is," and he was absolutely amazing. I was like,
Wow.
wow, like this guy is really good. Like, I don't know, like, dude, you don't need anything from me. Like, you're doing it. And I was like, in fact, I would like to work with you. Like, can I get on this song?
Right.
And we actually ended up doing a remix to that song.
Okay.
And that's how me and him linked up. And then me and him have just been working together ever since. And
Okay.
then like as I've grown and continued, I've ran into other people that I mostly met most of the people I know through Twitter.
Okay.
So
Okay.
like he reached out to me on Twitter, then me and Thousand Star we met up on Twitter for people watching my videos and people like, hey, I'm interested in trying this, or I reach out to people and be like, hey, would you be interested in doing a collaboration with me? And
Wow.
from there, people have just reached out and we've worked together. And certain people I work with, I'm like, this person was really good to work with. I would like to
Right.
continue to work with them. So like,
Right.
hey, would you like to join the family? And we've just grown. We've been growing ever since then.
Wow, that's amazing, bro. 'Cause I thought for sure I said, man, some of these people he must know, like not in the like YouTube lane. I was like,
No,
wow,
it's crazy. Like I said, Twitter. Like most of the people I've known, I've met on Twitter or through their
yeah,
YouTube channels,
okay,
and we just linked up remotely and say, hey, let's put together something, and then
okay.
just kept it going.
Yeah, that's great, man. Sometimes it's like that. Like you'll be like, hey, why they want to collaborate with me? You do have
It's like
those
I'm like,
moments.
hey,
It's like, what am I bringing to this that's gonna make people want
so
to
I
come
said,
see? And
most
that's
of the people
great
I've
that you were
collaborated with
able
are
to.
bigger than me. So I'm like, hey,
Right. Yeah,
I'm
it's
fine with
great
it.
that you found people, throughout, like you said, Twitter and stuff like that, that reached out and wanted to collaborate with you, man. Because I thought for sure, said, man, some of these people, he's got to know because you have really good chemistry with these people. I listen to the songs, I'm just like, yo, there's no way.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I
Yeah.
said, with Switch, like I
Hmm.
said, me and him kind of just been working together so long that we've kind of understood each other's rhythms at this point.
Right.
So we fit. And then like with the young lady Katie Savage that I've been
Hmm.
working with, it was just automatic. Like the first
Wow.
song we ever did together, it's literally to this day, it's actually the highest viewed video on my channel, the song that me and her did.
Wow. That's
And
incredible, bro. That y'all just had natural chemistry, bro.
it,
Like,
it just came naturally. And then we've done a couple
yeah.
songs since then, and they've all blown up. And like, I'm like,
Yeah.
man, we got to continue. We got to keep this going. So me and her have just continue working together, and we got new stuff that's coming out soon, and
Okay.
it's been great, man.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Yeah, I was like, wow, yeah, that's dope. That you, some people you just have a natural chemistry with, and some people, like you said, if you've been working with them for like a certain amount of years, you're like, okay, well, we just click. You know what I'm saying? They know what I like, they know what I want to do with the music, and then some people you just have a natural just chemistry with, and it just naturally flows with when you're collaborating. So yeah, that's definitely awesome, man. It's good to see that people actually reached out to you, you know what I'm saying, and wanted to be a part of the collective, man. Because I think if you guys are like a collective, like you're the main face, but then
Exactly.
you got the rest of the family. So that's really awesome, man. I can't lie, like that's dope.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what it is. A collect. I like that. I like that.
yeah,
We are the Master Sword Music Collective. I like that.
yeah, yeah. Because y'all all bring your own flair to it, so that's how I look at it. So let's see what Cajun said. That's what I always say: drums, guitar, piano. You can do it all. Oh yeah, Cajun brother. I wish I would have stuck with the. Like I said, I think that wasn't the trumpet for me. The saxophone. I take that back. It was the clarinet and the saxophone. I wish I would have stuck with these instruments. But you know, it's never too late. But I probably won't now. But my next question I want to ask you, and this one's a little interesting because I said, you know, I never asked. Are you do you mostly write your raps, or do you are there some that you freestyle, or you do both?
I do both.
Okay.
Um, it really depends on the song. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's been some like there I've done a song based on Kingdom Hearts, and that one I had to sit down and write out. Like I was like,
Okay.
okay, I'm actually
Okay.
writing out the story of the game in a
Okay.
verse. I'm writing that out. But then
Right.
certain songs just like come to me. Like I'll hear the beat and I'll come up with the theme and I'll just hop on the mic and just start going. And it's like,
Okay.
oh, that worked. We're gonna keep that, and we're gonna do
Okay.
this. And so I've done a little bit of both.
Wow. Okay. I said, I don't know. I said, man, I ain't never heard him talk about freestyling, but I'm asked. I'm curious. But that's dope that you can do both, man. Which one is more harder for you? Is it the freestyle or is it more so just writing it down?
I would say freestyling is probably harder for me
Okay. Okay.
because I mean, their writing is kind of like where I started because
Okay.
like even before I was writing music, I was writing like short stories or writing
Okay.
poems and stuff like that. So me and the pen are just like that's
Yeah.
just where I live at. And
Okay.
freestyling is just kind of like sometimes I come up with something good and sometimes I don't. So it
Okay.
really depends.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you're like I said, yeah, you're right. Yeah, some people are just freestyling people. Some people are, you know, do the just write the lyrics, and then you got the people that do both. I think it's good that people do both sometimes because it shows like you know how versatile you are, and it also shows another side of you as an artist. Like, okay, well, they just don't write music; they can also freestyle stuff too. So, yeah, that's really cool, bro, that you can actually do both. Because I was like, man, I don't think he do both. I think he's more of a, you know, just the one type person when it comes to it. But I was wrong. Yeah.
I know. I could kick a couple freestyles. I've done a couple freestyles on the channel. Like my Skyward Sword freestyle is probably my favorite one. Like that
Okay.
one
Okay.
is whoo.
Yeah.
I literally just put the beat on and started rapping, and it was like, yep, that's going on the channel today.
That's what's up, man. Now, my next question is, how do you stay so consistent, bro? Like, I mean, it's amazing to me. Like every week, I'm like, bro, he's definitely gonna drop something else. What is your ways of being staying consistent with it?
I'm always working. That's the thing.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
I'm always coming up with new ideas. I'm always putting out beats. Sometimes I get to a point where like, man, I think I've done it all. Like I think I don't think I
Okay.
got anything else. And then wait a minute. Oh, I could do this. And then like I start going down that path. And then more and more
Okay.
ideas
That's
keep
what's
coming
up,
to me.
man.
It's just like, I don't know. It's kind of like a natural gift for me. It's just like music has been a part of my life since I was a kid. Like
Okay.
everybody, it's in my blood actually. Like everybody
Okay.
in my family either sings or plays some kind of instrument, or I just come
Wow.
from a musical family. So it's just like for me,
Okay.
it's fun. Like this is what I do in my spare time. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do for fun.
Hmm.
So it's like,
Yeah. 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 You can tell that you're having fun with it, of course. Yeah, that's great that you have a musical background, man. You know, my family is more painting and drawing. Like I mean, I draw and paint, but not as much as I used to. Now that I do this content creating thing, it's a little bit more fun. Like it's still art incorporated in it, of course, but it's just like, you know, after a while, I was like, man, I really like putting these thumbnails together. I like how to do the backgrounds and stuff. I'm like, this is kind of art, but just in a digital form.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's dope, man. Yeah, you come from a family, you know, and it's like that with some musicians. You could tell, like, if they come from a family, it's always someone's playing instruments, some are singers, some are, you know, rappers and stuff like that. So it's good that you come from a musical background. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. So let me see, which one am I going to go with now? I got that. So I got some more questions for you, man. So let's see.
Let's go.
Let's see. So what is there anyone in this lane that you wanted to work with that you haven't worked with yet that's a musician content creator like you are?
Hmm. That's kind of tricky.
Okay,
Because like initially I never really planned on working with other people.
okay,
Like I was kind of just doing my own thing and then I kind of met people along the way. So
okay,
it's like I don't know. Well, actually, I
okay,
take that back. I take that
okay.
back. There's
All
one
right.
guy. His name is Geo the Virtue. He's a guitar player
Oh
that
wow.
does like video game song renditions on the guitar, and
Mm-hmm.
he is an absolute monster. And I would love to do something with him one
Wow.
day. I would love
Ye-
Geo the Virtue. He is
okay.
very
You know what?
talented.
I think you know what? I may have seen him before. I think
You
I seen
probably,
him
if you've
on
been on
Twitter.
Twitter, you've probably seen him. He'll just be sitting there with his guitar,
Yeah.
rocking out
Yeah.
to some video game music, and like he's
Right. He
incredible.
did something. I want to say it was like Smash Brothers or Pokemon something. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So
He's done all of that.
explain
He's
that.
done
Yeah, I
Mega
seen
Man,
him like
Smash Bros, Pokemon.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's really he's talented. Yeah, I would love to see that, man. I hope that you guys do eventually work together because I think y'all would have some fire, man. Like y'all have like
Yeah.
something really like phenomenal that would kind of stand out. Like, yo, he's killing the guitar, you're slaying the mic.
Yeah. It would be that is one person I'm definitely trying to link up with one of these days, man.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, I really hope that happens, man. Maybe somebody look. Maybe somebody can link them up to him. Let's see. Loose Awakening. What's going on, everyone? Yo, bro, just pretty much interviewing my man's Master Story. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, thanks for tuning in. And he said, "Yo, Cajun." And
What
then
up? What
Cajun
up?
said, "Stay hungry and evolving." Of course, Cajun, you have to evolve.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's the one thing. So the next thing I want to ask you, bro, how do you come up with these video concepts? I'm like, bro, just be killing it with the video concepts. I love how you actually do these video concepts and they look like very video game-ish in a great way.
Yeah, that's basically what I go for. Like, like I
Okay,
said, since everything I do is based on video games, I try to make it fit whatever
okay,
theme that I'm working on. So if I'm doing like a
mm-hmm.
Super Nintendo based thing, I'll try to do like some kind of imagery that fits with
Okay,
that.
right,
Um, so it's like that's basically always just kind of been my idea is just try to how can I portray what I'm getting across. And the
okay,
original thing was when I started doing it, I'm like, all right, I'm making all these video game references. So I'm gonna for every reference I do, I'm gonna throw an image on the screen that goes with it. Because everybody may
okay,
not know every video game that I'm referencing, or people may be listening to my music that necessarily aren't gamers, because that's kind of my what I'm trying to do is like I want to make music that even if you're not a
excuse
gamer,
me.
you're like, hey, that's just
Mm-hmm.
good music. It just sounds good, it feels good.
Okay,
But if you're also a gamer, it hits twice as hard because you're understanding what I'm
okay,
saying. Like, for
yeah,
example,
yeah,
one of
yeah.
my biggest songs is called Final
Mm-hmm.
Fantasy, where I
Right,
basically make nothing but Final Fantasy references throughout the entire song. And
right,
like, but it's a love song. So, like, if you ever been in love or been in a relationship, you understand what I'm saying. But if
right.
you're a gamer, you're like, wow, he's taking it to a whole different level because I understand these references. as
Yeah, you
well.
understand the gaming references, of course. Yeah, definitely. That's true, man. Definitely. So yeah, I love that, man. I love that you bring that to your videos. It's like, okay, so if he's doing this particular, video, it's like, okay, we got this particular background, or if it's this type of video, and it really works. It kind of matches the song because you're listening to you rapping about it or either singing with it too. Then you're like, okay, this is what this is referring to. And I love how you throw the references in there. You know what I'm saying? That's a really cool collective approach to it when it comes to the songs and stuff and the concept behind it.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I always try to also be entertaining as well. So it's like it's not
Right.
you come for the music, but then you also get a little like, oh, look at that visual flair, like something that keeps people interest while they're listening to the music instead of just doing like a video with lyrics on the screen or something like that. I
Yeah,
try to do
yeah.
something a little more creative to keep people coming back.
Yeah, because other people do that where it's just the lyrics and you're just like, it's it? You know what I'm
Yeah, and
saying?
it's like
So
it's cool, but
mhm.
I want to do something different. Like I want to make it like I'm actually trying to do a music video. Like I said, I
Right,
want to be an artist who just so happens to use gaming references, kind of thing.
right. Right, yeah, that's dope, man. I like that. I like that you bring that. Now, my next question is: was the producer rapper always a thing, or was it, just you first? It was the rapping, then it was the producing.
Well, when I first started,
Mm-hmm.
I was actually just doing remixes. I was taking like songs from video games and just doing remixes of it. So it was
Okay.
mostly just production. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, people were enjoying it, but I was like, I'm always thinking about how to take things to the next level. So I'm
Right.
like, oh, people are enjoying these remixes. What if I actually like did lyrics to these kind of
Right.
things? Like, what if I'm making a Zelda remix and I just do a rap about Zelda or something like that?
Right.
And then I started rapping over these beats. And I'm like, oh
Okay.
man, then those
Yeah.
videos really started taking off. People were
Okay.
really enjoying that. And I'm like, ooh, how could I even take it to a level even higher than that? So that's
Right.
when I started doing my own original. Instead of doing remixes, I was doing my
Mm-hmm.
own original production and then
Okay.
doing video game theme songs on top of that. And it's like,
Wow.
man, we can make albums out of this. So then like that's when
Right.
I started doing the whole Legend of TJ series, and
Okay.
that's when everything really started to take off for me.
Okay. Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, that's good that what I'm saying, you actually dabbled into the producing. First, you were remixing the stuff, then you started to become, a little bit more comfortable in putting out your own production, which is that's how it is. Sometimes you gotta, start off, small, then, eventually you get better and better with it and stuff. So yeah, that's great, man. Yeah. So my next actual question is, what are some of your favorite producers, if you have any?
Favorite producers. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite producer of all time, the one
Hmm.
that like inspires me the most,
Okay.
is Timbaland.
Ooh, that's a good
I
choice.
absolutely love Timbaland. His drum
Okay.
work is like no
Hmm.
other. He has very unique sounds, very unique instruments. Like he's probably the one that I take the most inspiration from because like
Okay.
when you hear a Timbaland beat, you know it's a
Hmm.
Timbaland beat.
Right.
Like that's kind of where I want to get to mine, where it's like when you hear my music, you like, oh, that's TJ. Like I know TJ did that
Okay.
because that's got him all over it. But I also love Pharrell.
Okay.
Pharrell is absolutely amazing as well.
Okay.
Going basically like I'm from that late 80s, early 90s era.
All
So
right.
any of your producers from that era are really going to hit hard for me, like Swiss Beats and stuff like
Okay.
that. So like a
Okay.
lot of that era is where I
Okay.
get my foundation from.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you got some nice choices, man. Swiss Beats. Oh man, he's done some phenomenal beats, man. Timbaland, of course, man. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
Timbaland's beats, man.
yeah,
It's
Timberland
like,
is like
when
the
you hear
goat to me.
his projects, you just know whether it's a genuine or like a Justin Timberlake type of project. You just know it's
You know it's
Timberlake.
Timberland. Like you know it.
Yeah,
It's like that's him. He did that.
yeah,
I know he did that.
that's a good choice, Timberland. And then you said, who was the other person again?
I love Pharrell.
Okay, Pharrell. Yeah, Pharrell too. Yeah, Pharrell. Ooh, he has nice beats. Yeah, man, you're right.
Like
I
when
like
when he came
Pharrell.
when he hit the scene, he really took over. Like he just
Yeah,
the Neptunes
yeah,
were like so big during
Yeah.
that time. Like they were doing beats for everybody. It was just like
Right.
you couldn't get away from them cats. Like they was
Yeah,
everywhere.
they went from was it the Clips, T.I., Kanye West, man. It's yeah,
Like
you're
you
right.
name it, they Jay-Z, like
Jay-Z, yeah, Snoop Dogg.
they
Wow.
were all over the map, man. Like I was
Yeah,
like just that level of just how much they was able to switch it up. Like
right,
they would be working with hip hop artists, then they go to R&B artists, and then they can go to
right,
pop artists, and then they
right.
like they was pretty much doing whatever they wanted to, and it was good.
Yeah, it's true, man. You're right for real. It's definitely a versatile producer because he actually did a couple tracks on Kendrick's last album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
what
he
I'm
was on
saying.
To Pimp a Butterfly. So yeah, yeah, Pharrell's versatile when it comes to working with people, and so is Timbaland, and either
Oh
Swiss
yeah,
Beats. Yeah,
oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
yeah. So yeah, those are some good choices. Any older choices? No Quincy Jones or what is it, Davon or anything like that?
Quincy for sure. Like
Okay,
he's just a go. Like I think I put them in a whole different kind of category because
okay,
those are like goats.
okay.
Like I would put Dre in that
Hmm.
category.
Right.
Like because Dre is just like
Yeah.
it's Dr. Dre. Like it's like
Right.
he's an obvious choice. You know what I'm saying? So like to me, those are like in a totally different category. Like those are just like
Right.
musical geniuses. Like Kanye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kanye is just like when he
Yeah.
first hit the scene with his beats, like
Right.
he was
Yes.
tearing up the scene. Everybody wanted to be from Kanye. Like
Yeah. Yeah, man. Kanye definitely brought a different vibe to like beats and stuff. Like he went from what is that, synth? He went from electronic, what I'm saying, soulful beats, gospel.
like
Yeah, man, you're
he was a like
absolutely right, man. He's one of my favorite producers. I gotta give it to Kanye. May not be he used to be my favorite lyricist. But when it comes to beats, Kanye is gonna give you something.
but I mean whatever it is, like it don't
Yeah.
matter what he put down, it's going to be amazing. Like I love Kanye.
Okay.
Kanye beats production wise is just amazing, and the fact that
Yeah.
he just like he said he doesn't limit himself to what people expect out of him, and that's
Right. I think yeah, that's really what it is. He's very experimental. And I think that's something I really loved about Kanye as an artist. Even though he's not my favorite artist anymore, I kind of took that from Kanye. I was like, man, he's very experimental, and I really love that he's like that. You know what I'm saying? Where we
exactly.
had him doing 808s and what I'm saying, what was it, synth pop and all that stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, man. Good
And I mean,
choices,
that was
bro.
a big inspiration for me too. It's like
Yeah,
I'm taking
yeah.
something that's very niche, like something that's very
Hmm.
like niche, like
Right,
taking video game references and turning them
right.
into songs, using like, but I want that to become a
Hmm.
thing. Like I want that to become, I want to be the one that opens the door for that to become its own genre of music one day. Like
Okay, okay,
music for gamers. Like that's basically what I do is I make music for gamers. And like
okay.
I want to be the one that pioneers this. Like this could be a thing. Like I can,
Yeah, it could. Yes,
I've
it's
done hip hop
possible, man.
songs, I've done R&B, but like we can open it up to rock and roll. I mean, like I want to be able to be
Yeah,
like gamers need music too.
right. Yeah,
We
gamers
want
do.
stuff that
I
we can
mean,
listen to that speaks to us in a different way. So it's like,
right.
and especially for our community, for for people of
Yeah.
minority, I wanted us to have a voice in this field. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Like because in
Yeah,
the gaming
that's.
sphere, we don't
Hmm.
really have as much of a voice as we should have.
Right.
And so like that's why I primarily focus on like hip hop, R&B, jazz. Like
Okay.
I want the minorities to be able to be like, hey, that's a guy that's doing stuff that I like, but I'm also a gamer. I'm also a
Right.
black man, and I
Okay.
love what he's doing because he's opening the door for other people to come behind him, and
Right.
that's my goal.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Yeah, definitely, man. Yes, it's definitely a lane for it. Do you Dude, this is a good question. Do you listen to MF Doom?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so okay, I just wanted. I was curious about that. I said, yeah, maybe I should ask him this.
Oh yeah, man.
Let's
I
see
listen.
what Luke Awakening is saying. Kanye's out there, but he has beats. His beats are fire. Yeah, it's
They
no
are.
denying
Can't take
it.
that away from that man. You can't take it from him, no matter
Right.
what.
So My next question are: what are some of your top Nintendo consoles, man, that you enjoy playing?
Well, for anybody who knows me, my
Okay,
favorite, I am a Nintendo head. So like I am
okay,
like Mr. Nintendo. But
okay.
my favorite Nintendo of all time will always be the Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo. Okay,
The Super Nintendo is
okay,
my number one console of all time because I'm a big RPG head.
okay,
And when
okay,
it comes to the Super Nintendo, it had so many banging RPGs. Like
okay,
there's so many good RPGs on the Super Nintendo, and that's kind of the console that really made me be like, I'm a gamer.
okay. Hold on a
So
sec. Santa says, "Hey, bro. Hey, sis, how's it going? Thanks for tuning
hey, how
in."
you doing?
Yeah.
Thanks for
So you know what, bro? That was my very first console, bro. My Super Nintendo and my Game Boy. I got it on Christmas. Mom bought it years back, and ever since then, bro, I love Nintendo. Nintendo's probably the first game console that I'm a really big fan of. And then years later, Sony and Nintendo are probably the only consoles I played. It used to be Xbox, but I kind of lost interest in the gaming company a little bit and just how they
Mhm.
did games. Like they don't have enough games. Yeah.
Understandable. But yeah, the
Hmm.
Super Nintendo is definitely up there for me. N64, I would
Okay.
probably put at number two because that was like
Okay.
that was like my first 3D experience,
Okay.
and then that, of course the N64 had my favorite Zelda game of all times, the
Okay.
Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which is like
Okay.
that's the one that really made me be like, yeah, I'm a Zelda guy.
Okay.
So
Yeah, you're right. N64 has some really good Zelda titles. Yeah, you got like you said, Ocarina of Time. Then you was a Majora's Mask that was really good too. And then they even had some Donkey Kong and Smash Brothers. That kind of started those type of games too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
And then,
yeah.
like you
So
said,
yeah, Nintendo.
The Game Boy is a big one
Right.
for me.
Oh yeah, the Game Boy definitely, man. That's what I said. Nintendo. Yeah, I started off with Nintendo, shockingly, and Super Nintendo. The Game Boy, the big Game Boy, the bulky one.
Yeah, the original man, the original green
Yeah,
screen
so
guy.
right. But you know what? Like I said, it's good, man. Like I said, the Super Nintendo. And like I said, just the company Nintendo itself has been around for so many years. It's incredible, man.
Yeah, like think about the original Legend of Zelda game came out in 89,
Yeah, yeah.
1989 was the original Legend of Zelda on the
Hmm.
NES. So like
Right.
since and then we're getting,
Yeah.
the new Zelda Tears of the Kingdom coming out next year. Like that's
Right.
crazy. From 89 to 2023. It's like, man.
Right. Hey, Bob, how's it going? Thanks
Oh,
for tuning in.
Slunko.
Appreciate it.
Slunko in the
Yeah.
building.
Right. Thanks for tuning in to the live. So my next question is what are some of your favorite non-Nintendo consoles that you like playing?
Favorite non-Nintendo consoles.
Hmm.
I was a big PlayStation 1 head.
Okay.
I love the PS1
Okay.
and the
Hmm.
PS2
Okay.
are big for
Okay.
me, especially the PS2. I'd probably say more so the PS2 because
Okay.
that's when I really got into the PlayStation because like the library on the PlayStation 2 was
Yeah.
ridiculous. Like they just had so many games on the PS2 that it was just like there was always something. And
Right.
it
Yeah,
was
I would have to say I agree with you, brother. PlayStation 2 is kind of what won me over to like Sony because I never owned a PlayStation 1. Um, a friend of my mom's, a real close friend of her sons owned a PlayStation 1, and that was the only time I played the PlayStation 1 when I would go over their house at the church. But PS2 man just won me over because, like you said, there were so many game titles. I was like, dang, I thought the first system had a lot of game titles. I'm like, the second one got way more.
yeah, the PlayStation 2 was
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, they had a lot of games. And then eventually that's when I got into PlayStation 3. Like I think that's around the time I was in high school. And then I eventually got into the PS4 and I haven't gotten the PS5 yet, so I can't say about that. So So let me see. I got some more questions right here. Let me see what else I can ask. Is it on this side? There we go. So, what is your favorite process in making music, bro? I have to ask you this.
My favorite part of the process,
hmm
for me, I would say it's probably coming up with the theme.
Okay.
So like once I got the beat laid down and I kind of know what I'm
hmm
doing, it's like, all right, what am I trying to get across? Like, let me think of a good example. Like I'll go
Okay.
back to the Final Fantasy song I was talking about, which is a really
Okay.
popular one.
hmm
When I was first, when I made the beat, I was like, yeah, this definitely sounds like a love song kind of thing. So what can I
Okay.
use to like paint that picture? And I don't
Right.
know, for some reason, I started thinking about Final Fantasy references. I was like, oh,
Okay.
materia and high potions and RPG references. And I'm like,
Mm.
this is kind
Okay.
of cool. Like, I think I can kind of make a whole song around this whole Final Fantasy thing. Let's just kind
Okay.
of see what I can do with that. And then that's when the song really started taking off. I'm like, oh, Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 10 references.
Right.
And I'm like, oh,
Okay.
let's go,
So
let's go.
you
So like
build
coming up
around
with that
theme.
thing is where I think the funnest part is. Like once I get the beat and I start
hmm
writing,
Right.
that's where that's where I'm having fun.
Okay. Yeah, that's dope, man. That you, like I said, you were really into the theme. So you're very, you're one of those people. I could imagine you going to the movies, and when you go see movies, you're like, "Yo, what are the themes when I see this movie?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
kind
that's
of the
definitely
same
me.
way, bro. That's
Because
that's
I
why I
like to come
can't
up with
really.
concepts. Like I love like different like a song I did a
hmm
while back called PlayStation
Right.
is actually really cool how I constructed, and I still love it to this day.
Okay.
I basically tell the base of the song is I tell my story of how I started YouTube
Okay.
and like the ups and downs of me starting YouTube, but I
Right.
use the story of PlayStation to do the thing. So like the first verse,
Okay.
I'm making all PlayStation 1 references, like, oh, this is
Okay.
the beginning, this is how I got started.
Right.
And then I move into PlayStation 2, where it's like, oh,
Right.
now I'm really starting to take off. And
Okay.
then PlayStation 3, I'm like, all right, things are getting a little rough, but I'm still
Rough.
holding it
Yeah.
down. But
Right.
then the PlayStation 4 comes out, and I'm like, all right, now I'm getting back to what I do and what I do best.
Okay.
And I'm making all play, and throughout the whole song, I'm talking PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4
Right.
references.
Okay. Yeah. That's really neat, man. Yeah. I'm the same way when it comes to movies. I go. You know, some people don't like going to the movies with me because they're like, "Yo, you're too into the themes." I'm like, "Yo, this is what the movie is about." Like, I
Yeah,
get
like
it. You
what is
know,
the point? Like, what is the story? What is it trying to tell me?
yeah, that's really how I am, man. And I know some people be like, "Man, I remember my one friend. I told them, I said, yo, like we going to this movie, and she was so mad at me. Let me tell you what happened. So I went in the theater. I said, yo, like this movie gonna be good, but I'm gonna need you not to talk because I'm trying to figure out the themes. I want to know a little bit more about the characters. And she looked at me and she actually listened. She was, I was like, wow, she really did take it because at first she's like one of those people you'll go and she's like, why did this happen? Why is this person? I'm like, shh.
Just wait, just
You'll
wait,
find
just
out if
wait.
you
We're
listen.
gonna figure it out.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm definitely one of those people when it comes to movies, even music. I mean, even with who album was that? Kendrick Lamar's last album.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
really,
yeah.
yeah, he really has some things. I'm like, and I listened to it a couple more times. I'm like, man, this was definitely artsy the way he went about it.
Oh yeah. Like that
Yeah,
album is deep. Just like his
yeah,
first album, Good Kid, Mad City.
hmm
Like that
yeah,
album literally tells a story. Like if
yeah,
you listen to it and like really see what he's doing with each track, you
hmm
can see how he's like,
yeah.
which is actually, I'm glad you brought this up because I love
Okay,
how Kendrick did this. He told a story through his album, which is
yeah,
actually a big inspiration for me because my new
okay,
project that I'm working on, the new
hmm
album that's going to be coming out in November,
okay,
um, I'm doing the same thing where I'm giving you stories of my life
okay,
throughout the album. Like it kind of tells a story, and
okay.
all the songs are kind of interconnected and woven together into each other, just like
Wow.
Kendrick did with his album. Like
Okay.
I love how he did it. Like
Yeah,
he told his life story in that album, and like
he did. Yeah, and then what I loved about Mr. Morale, he actually went back to Good Kid, Mad City on a couple tracks. I was like, oh,
you're like,
that
oh,
ties into
look,
this.
yeah, exactly.
I was like, holy crap.
He was not,
Yeah,
man. He is amazing. He is absolutely amazing.
yeah, yeah. To me, he's probably, I'll be honest, he's probably the best Dr. Dre protege. Him and Anderson .Paak. I didn't really care for old Aftermath as much. Yeah,
Well, Anderson .Paak is a beast.
yeah. Those are probably my
Anderson
favorite
.Paak is a
Aftermath artists.
beast.
Yeah, yeah. Him and Kendrick. Yeah.
For sure, man. For sure.
Okay. Let's see what Wolby said. Good day, guys. Hope to see you guys are having fun. Oh yeah, of course, Wolby. That's what it's about.
Having a good time. Having a good time.
Okay, so my next question is, was music your first passion or love, or was it something else? Did you have anything else before that that you were really into?
Nah, honestly, no. Like music has kind of been like a part of
Okay,
me forever. Like I said, I grew up in a musical family. So it's
okay,
kind of just something that was born in me.
okay,
And like I just wanted to find my own way to display that, to show that to people. And
okay.
of course, I've been a gamer since I was a kid. So it's
Right.
like gaming and music have always been like my two loves. So I was like, what if I just fuse those two things together? Like what could I
Yeah,
create putting my two loves were gaming and music together, and that was
yeah,
pretty much
because
the creation of what I do.
yeah, because you know what? If you really think about it, Master Story music, when it comes down to it, music and gaming do go together because when you play the game, there's music incorporated when it comes to certain scenes in the game. Maybe a certain boss coming up or an enemy that you don't know about. So it's like the music is
Exactly.
like incorporating what's about to happen next. So you're like, uh-oh, what's going on? Like, why does
Yeah,
the
like the
music
music.
change?
Yeah, the music just changed. What's going on? And
Yeah.
a game. One of the games that really like inspired me
Hmm.
musically
Yeah.
was once again the Super Nintendo
Okay.
Chrono Trigger.
Okay.
Chrono Trigger soundtrack is one of the best video game soundtracks I have ever heard to this day.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
the music, like there's the sad moments where the music, kind of comes down. There's like
Yeah.
these when you're in the open world, you get the like
Hmm.
music that makes like, oh man, like there's so much to see, and like
Right.
the music can portray so much emotion in the game, and it's just like I
Yes.
love the way Chrono Trigger did it, and it
Right.
was one of the ones that made me be like, I love music, I love video games, I love
Right.
video game music. Like
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger was a big turning point for me when I really got into the music of video games.
Okay. Yeah. Same here, man. I remember playing back in the day Pokemon, Mega Man. You
Oh,
know,
Mega
and it
Man,
was
yes.
yeah, it was always like you said, you love the game, but then when you heard the soundtracks, you're like, man, these are some really good soundtracks. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
And I
glad
was
you brought
like,
up
man,
Mega Man. Mega Man got bangers.
yeah,
Woo.
yeah, yeah. I was just like, wow. I said, man, I love the game, but then I love the music. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like, okay, I love the game first, but then I love the music that comes with the game. So it's
And
always
sometimes
interesting.
the music can kind of enhance the game. Like it can
Yeah,
be a good game, but
right.
then having good music behind it makes it a great game.
Right, right. It really does. Then it shows you like sometimes like just the themes, the music helps the theme build up. So like if you don't necessarily know what the theme is about, you're like, oh, okay, so this is what the theme is about based on the music. Like I played this game, you may have heard of it. It's a Sega game called Bayonetta.
Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
so when you play Bayonetta, you hear the music change, and you'll have like this angelic music, then you'll have like this darker music depending on where she's at. Like if she's in the underworld, you'll hear that. You're
Mm.
like,
Because
wow.
Bayonetta's theme is like, the fight between basically heaven and hell, like
Yeah,
being against the angels and the demons. And it's
yeah,
like that
yeah,
music kind of gives you that feel. It's like, oh, when you're
right,
up here, the music sounds all angelic and holy, and then when you're down here, it's
right,
more darker, heavy metal themes. Like
right.
Bayonetta
Yeah,
is a beast for that.
yeah, definitely, man. I was like, man. even with Halo, I remember Halo had like this church choir feel. So like, oh,
Like when you hear that, you know it's Halo time. Like when you hear that,
it's
you
like
know what
this
time it is.
signature.
Like, it's about to go down. It's Halo time.
Yeah, so let's see what Wolvie said. It creates an ambience and the feeling to the player. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
it
Exactly.
brings you in as the audience to the game because we're the consumer. We're buying into the game and we're buying into the theme, the characters, the story. Yeah, that's a good one, Wolvie. So my next question is, what is your favorite storytelling video game, bro? This is something I just came up with, bro.
Storytelling video game.
Mhm.
Well, I guess that would. Well, my favorite story in a video game would probably be Final Fantasy X.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
That's is literally my favorite Final Fantasy game because
Okay.
of the story. Like I
Hmm.
love how it. Once again, we're talking about themes.
Right.
Final Fantasy X is like a story of loss.
Okay.
Like it's talking about how people deal with loss. Like when the game first starts, the main
Hmm.
character basically loses his world. Like he ends up in a
Okay.
world completely different from his own,
Right.
and he has to deal with the loss of the world that he once knew. And then the people
Wow.
in that world are dealing with loss because they're always fighting against sin, who's
Right.
always, destroying the world, and people are always dying. So it's like
Hmm.
they're dealing with loss. And at
Right.
the end of the game, the main player has to deal with the fact that he's going to lose himself because
Uh-huh.
he's not part of this world and he has to go back to basically where he came from.
Okay.
And he has to deal with the loss of I've made all these connections with the people in this world, but I don't belong here.
Right.
So he
Yeah.
has to deal with that loss. So like the story of Final Fantasy X is like how to deal with loss and dealing with loss and death.
Wow.
And I absolutely love that story. So Final Fantasy X is
Okay.
easily one of my favorite stories in a video game.
Wow, that's a good choice, man. Even though I'm not big on Final Fantasy, but that's a good choice. I've been hearing a lot of good things about that Final Fantasy X.
Oh my
Definitely,
god.
and I can see why. Because, like you said, if you're more geared towards a story as a gamer, you're more drawn into it. You know what I'm saying? So, wow, that's a really good choice. Any other games like that kind of drew you in based on the story?
Based on the story. Oh, Xenoblade 1.
Okay,
Xenoblade 1 was absolutely incredible story.
okay,
Like just I love the interactions between the different characters, just how everybody feels like they're actually on an adventure together. Like I love that.
okay,
Story wise, any other
okay,
games that hit me? Oh, like a Chrono Trigger. Going back to Chrono Trigger, I
okay,
love that
okay.
story.
Yeah,
Like how they're just trying to deal with how you know they know that the world is going to come to an end, so they're
right.
doing all this time traveling to see if there's a way that they can fix these problems. And I actually I love that.
Okay.
Um, Story driven games like it's basically any kind of RP. Like most RPGs, like I'm into. Like
Okay.
I love the Star Ocean series.
Okay.
It's usually pretty good. Final Fantasy series,
Okay.
Xenoblade. Like
Those are
I
some
just
good choices, though. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I know for me, I would definitely have to say like the early 2000s Sonic game that came out. That
oh
was very
yeah.
interesting. I really like the story behind that, where he's saving this princess and then this creature that pretty much is supposed to destroy this world. And it was interesting because we thought Sonic was gonna die, and then he ends up getting revived with the Chaos Emeralds and stuff. And I really hope that this next Sonic game is like their Frontier.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
really
looks
hope
really
it has a.
interesting. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, me too, man. That's the game. Yeah, yeah.
I'm really looking
And
forward to
for
that.
me, the other game I would have to say it's like Mega Man. Mega Man Battle Network.
Oh
For
yes.
me was like I love the game because it kind of dealt with death at the very beginning. It's like, well, you had a sibling, but your sibling pretty much your dad turned them into like a digital version of himself, but he's a net
Mhm.
navvy. And it was interesting because pretty much they had like the net navies would go into the internet and stuff and cause chaos in the real world. So you got your brother hacking into the internet, going to all these different places to stop these net navies and these viruses and stuff. I was like, wow, this
Yeah, Mega
story
Man's
is good,
always
man.
had some good stories.
Yeah, and even
Mega
with
Man X. Mega
Hmm.
Man X, the original Mega Man
Yeah.
X is.
Hmm.
I love the story. I love how they tell the story in that game. Instead of just
Okay.
like telling you the story, they make you experience the story. Like on
Wow.
that first
Okay.
level when you're going through and
Hmm.
you're fighting that boss in the first level that you
Right.
actually can't beat.
Hmm.
Like you just there's no way to actually win that fight until Zero shows up and save the day. Like that whole
Yeah.
story is about becoming greater than you are. Like, because
Okay.
after he beats it, he's like, "Hey, X, I know you couldn't beat it yet, but you haven't reached your full potential yet. You still have all these
Right.
abilities you haven't used yet. You haven't,
Right.
And then that's what you do. You go throughout the game, you beat the bosses, you get more
Right.
powers, you get more
Yeah.
armors, you get
Right.
more abilities, and at the end, you fight that same boss, and then you wipe
Okay.
the floor with him. So, like, I
Right.
love that. It's like you can
Yeah.
become greater than you are in the beginning of
True.
the game, and
True. Yeah. You
that's the
definitely
theme of
see
that
that.
game.
Yeah, you definitely see that in the Mega Man games. I know Mega Man Battle Network 3, when you fought Base for the first time, you didn't necessarily kill him, but you did do some damage to him, but you still lose to him. Then eventually you fight him again and you actually get a chance to whoop him this time around.
Because you've grown, you
Yeah,
get your more battle chips, you get more
right.
experience. Like the
Yeah,
game just lets you experience the story instead of just telling you what the theme is. It's just like, oh,
right,
you feel it because you go through it. Like with that Mega Man X, like you
right.
lose that first battle and you're like, man, like how am I supposed to beat this guy? Oh, you can't.
Right.
You
Yeah,
can't.
'cause
You're not
I'm
strong
sitting there
enough
saying
yet.
to myself, like, that is the game cheating. I thought I was supposed to beat him.
I love how they did that. Like I love
Yeah,
that.
so and then I realized like, well, it's not meant for you to win. You were just supposed to lose anyway. Yeah, so that's definitely interesting. So, another question I want to ask is pretty much, what are some of your favorite movie soundtracks or video game soundtracks?
Well, we already talked about my favorite video game soundtrack, which is
Okay,
Chrono Trigger.
well, movie soundtracks. Okay,
But also as far as video game goes, I also Sonic the Hedgehog always has
okay,
good soundtracks.
okay,
Mega Man, we've talked about that,
okay,
and Castlevania. Those are like my big three. Sonic,
okay,
Chrono Trigger, and Castlevania
okay,
always has good music. Like no matter what game, they always have good music.
okay.
Uh Movies, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not as big of a movie guy as I used to be, so I'll probably have to go to some old stuff. But
Okay,
I was a big Disney head back in the day. And
okay,
I love all those old like Aladdin and
okay,
music's Disney movies from that era, like Lion King
okay.
and those music like Aladdin has some great music, of course.
You
Like
know what,
some of
Lion
the
King, you're absolutely right. Lion King had a banging soundtrack, boy.
Lion King soundtrack was dope, bro. It
Yes,
was
bro. I
dope.
got that soundtrack on my phone, bro.
Lion King
Yeah,
soundtrack
Lion
is
King.
very slept on, man.
Yeah,
Aladdin was dope.
Aladdin did too. You're right,
Jungle Book, like
bro.
that
Thumbs
was me.
up.
That was me,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. They actually have some. Disney knows how to do soundtracks. I actually just gotten into music scores, like for the whole like movies and stuff.
Mhm.
My favorite ones is Soul with Jamie Foxx.
Oh yeah, Soul is
That
dope.
soundtrack is phenomenal for the score for the movie.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That's a really
Oh,
good one
yep,
too.
that's also good.
And then the other one is Black Panther. I love the
Oh
soundtrack.
yeah.
And the crazy thing about that is, the guy that used to work with Childish Gambino, Ludwig Göransson, he's the one that made the score for the movie. I was
Yeah, that
surprised.
the original Iron Man 1
Okay,
soundtrack is dope. I
okay,
love the music from Iron Man 1.
yeah,
And I'm a big Iron Man fan anyway, so
okay,
that sent me over the top.
yeah. That's what's up, man. The next question. I'm gonna do ask you two more questions. Is gonna be it. So, what are some of your other favorite Nintendo characters since you are a Nintendo game?
Uh I love Samus
Okay,
because I was a big Metroid head.
okay, I like
I
Metroid.
love
Yeah,
yeah, I love the Metroid series.
okay,
Let's see, other characters. Actually, funny thing about it is most people assume because I'm Master Sword Music and I
okay,
love Zelda games that Link is automatically my favorite character,
okay.
but he actually isn't.
What?
I
Wow.
love Link. Don't get me wrong. I
Okay,
love Link, but I think the thing about Zelda games that make them so great is not
Mm-hmm.
Link, it's actually the other characters in the story. Like
True. True.
I love Midna from Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
Midna was a great character. Like I usually love those companion characters that like join
Okay.
you on the adventure. So like I
Right.
love Midna. I love
Okay.
from Wind Waker. I love the King of Red Lions, the ship
Okay.
that you go with.
Right.
I love Navi and
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time. Like
Right.
I love Fee from the Skyward Sword. Like
Okay.
it's usually the other characters in Zelda games that make those games great. Like Link is pretty much just you in the
Okay.
game because he doesn't talk and he
Yeah.
doesn't really say much, but he's really just like you in the game.
Right.
So it's the characters around him that
Yeah.
make
The
that
characters
game
that kind
great.
of kind of build them up. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
Zelda. Of course, I
Okay.
love Zelda. And favorite Zelda character though
Mm-hmm.
is actually a pretty recent one. It's Urbosa from Breath
Okay.
of the Wild. I love the Gerudo.
Okay.
And Urbosa is Bay. That's my Bay right there.
All right. So, my last question. Ooh, this is a good one. When was it that you realized that you were like the man when it came to the music? Was it like a particular bar, a verse, a chorus?
Um, Let me see. Let me pull up. Let me go through my history real quick.
Okay.
Because it's like I do have those moments where it's just like, oh man, that was
Okay.
dope.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Actually, I got it.
Okay. All right.
It goes back to my first album. This is when I realized that I was doing something that I know was unique. Because
Okay.
I would challenge myself to see if I could pull off things that sound silly, but
Yeah.
let's
No,
see if
I
I
knew
can do
that
it.
too, bro. That's a good way to go about it. Yeah.
So one of the first challenges I made to myself was, all right, you can rap about video games and you can do all this stuff, but can
Yeah.
you make a video game dance song, like a song that you can play in the club that
Right.
somebody could just like that the girls could just do their thing to and that kind of stuff. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, how can I do that? And I'm thinking more like I'm thinking of like Juvenile, back that thing up,
Okay.
Yin Yang
All right.
Twins,
Right.
that kind of stuff, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, I'm coming up with ideas. I got the beat going, and the beat, I'm like, all right, how can I pull this off? How can I make a video game reference? And my mind went straight to the Nintendo 64
Okay.
and the Rumble Pack.
You're
So
right.
then I'm like, oh, girl, shake that thing like a Rumble Pack. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. And then
Right.
I started making like Rumble Pack, controller vibration references. And I'm just like,
Right.
this is like, that's when I knew. I was like, man, like I can really do whatever I
Right.
want to with it. Like there's no limit to what I could do.
Right.
Because like
Yeah.
I can
Really,
do
it's not no
love
limit.
songs, I can do I've done
Mhm.
like R&B songs,
Right.
I've done like straight old school hip hop songs.
Okay.
Like, but when that moment is when I was like, there's no limit. Like if I can do this, if I can make basically a twerk song
Right.
with video game references, there's nothing else I can't do. Like there's no limit to what I can do. And that's when I really started like, oh, I can do this R&B
Okay.
stuff, love songs, I can do story songs, I've done songs about depression, I've done
Okay.
like that's when I knew like there's no limit to what I can do with this. That's when
Yeah,
the
that's
music
good,
pushed
man.
me.
Yeah, every artist has at least I would say like one, two, maybe three dance songs in their catalog. Yeah. Yeah.
I've had fun with it. Oh man, and
Hmm.
on the new album, the new album I had one of these. The new album I got coming out is called Heroes Awakening.
Right.
That's I'm going to be dropping in November.
Okay.
Uh, I had another one of those moments where I did something like completely out of my comfort zone, and it worked.
Ooh.
Like I did a song that was like it's like a I don't know how else to say it, but
Hmm.
it's like a R. Kelly, Jamie Foxx sexy song, like
Okay.
super duper sexy song,
Okay.
and using nothing but video game references. And
Wow.
whoa, when I can't wait to drop this song, oh
Yeah.
man, like it's going to be incredible. Like this whole new album that I'm working on
Yeah.
is incredible, man. Like I've pulled people in from I have so many features on this one. Matter of fact, Slunko
Yeah.
makes a guest appearance in one of my
What?
videos. So she's still in
That's
the
what's
chat.
up,
She
man.
makes a guest appearance. She makes a cameo. Like I got
Okay.
a lot of people that I'm gonna be working with that I've never worked with before. People that I've worked with in the past are coming back to do this new
Okay.
album. Like I think when I finished counting up, I think I got like 14, 15 features on this song, on this album. Like
Wow.
from people either joining me on the song or doing cameos in the videos or
Okay.
helping me with intros and
Okay.
like it's gonna this album is gonna be a pretty big one for me. Like this is
Okay.
like a culmination of everything that I've done up to this point. Like
Wow. That's yeah. It sounds like it's anticipated. That's incredible, bro. That's what's up, bro. Wow. You said
it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be. I can't wait until November. I can't wait until November.
yeah,
It's gonna
man.
be.
That's wow. That's cool, man. Like when you said the I was like, wow. I said video game references, and then I was like, wow, with the Jamie Foxx and R.
Yeah,
Kelly. I was like, wow. That's
like
definitely
it
yeah.
gets it. It's like, hey, man, don't let at the beginning of the video. I say, hey, if you got your kids with you, you might want to tell them to go somewhere else right now because this song ain't kid friendly at all, man.
Well, at least you're honest about it.
Like, hey, man, this ain't kid friendly. You might want to tell them to go out the room for a little bit on this one because it's
Okay.
crazy.
I got one last question, bro.
Go for it.
What genre have you not done yet, but you're gonna eventually do, like with your music?
What I actually is something I'm going to be working on with a good friend of mine.
Okay.
It's going to be rock. It's going to
Okay.
be a rock based thing.
Okay.
My guy is he does rock and roll music, and me and him are going to work together on a collaboration on his
Okay.
channel. My man goes by James Lighter on Twitter,
Okay.
and he's actually done quite a couple features on my albums.
Okay.
So me and him have worked together before, but I'm actually going to be doing something on his channel.
Okay.
And he's mostly like rock based, and
Okay.
that's something I have not stepped into yet. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, you know what? With hip hop music, who was that did that? Lupe did that with one of his songs on The Cool, and I really
Oh
liked it.
yeah,
It was a
it's
Hello
going to be
Goodbye.
interesting
Yeah, Hello
because
Goodbye. Yeah, that
I've
song was
done it.
amazing, bro. I was like, dang, like I love how he incorporated the rock music in there and stuff, and just how it changed. Like at the beginning, it's very like heaven sent. Then it's kind of very dark towards the end of the song, and then
Oh
you hear the
yeah,
scream.
it's going to be dope. It's
Yeah,
going to be fun. It's definitely
yeah,
good because
yeah.
I'm
That's good, man. Like I said, that's dope, bro. Yeah, that's wow, bro. You really be out here, bro.
I'm trying it all, man. Like I'm trying to take this thing to a whole nother level, man.
Yeah,
That's what I'm all
man.
about is seeing how far I can push this thing.
Yeah, that's true, bro. That's good that you what do they call it? The man with many hats, as I always say.
That's
That
me.
you do a little bit of everything. That's a good thing, and that you're very consistent, bro. That's really dope, bro. Because like I said, I know other musicians that are YouTubers. I'm like, it's something different about Master Sword. Like this dude, every time, every week, I just like, yeah,
Every
bro, let me know
Thursday,
something.
we dropping new music every Thursday.
Yeah, yeah, man. And I love how you just have these little trailers, like snippets, so people can kind of see what it's going to be about. I love it because it reminds me of like back in the day when you would see like a preview for like a TV show back in the day. You're like, oh, I like that little snippet where they showed. I'm like, I want to see the show now.
Yeah, I try to grab a moment, like, oh, that's a moment.
Yeah,
Like that's a moment that happened. So like you
yeah,
see that moment, you're like, wow, I gotta see how he got there. Or
right,
what
right,
leads up to that, or what comes after that, or like
right.
I try to capture those moments so people be like,
Okay.
okay, that's something I need to make sure I be there for that.
Yeah, that's a cool way to promote it. Yeah, it really is. That's a good way of promoting it because, like I said, I've seen where there are other musicians, not to say that they're not good at promo, but some people just have like a natural way of doing it where it doesn't seem like they're like kind of forcing the promo into you. It's like, okay, this is a little bit better, and I like where it's going and stuff. So yeah, man, it's good that you have a unique approach to your promo and also just your music, man. I think that's a great way to look at it, bro. And do you have anything else you would like to say, bro, before we end? Hear me?
My
Oh. You hear me now? Yo.
something locked up on me.
Oh, okay.
Am I back?
Yeah, you back.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to start by saying, thank you for having me here. I really appreciate this moment to, being able
Okay.
to interview and open myself up to other people that may not have seen me or may not know much about me. So I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, no problem, bro.
Like I said, the big thing is the new album, The Legend of TJ, Heroes Awakening. It's dropping in November. So
Okay.
definitely look forward to 22 new songs coming from me.
Okay.
22,
22. Okay.
22 new tracks. We're dropping every Thursday. We're dropping new music, and I'm
Okay.
definitely looking forward to that. Matter of fact, right after this, I'm going to be going right over to my channel, and I'm going to be doing a behind the scenes video. We've been doing a series where I've been going through my past albums and breaking them down and
Yeah, I saw
going through
that.
all the songs. So today is actually the last episode. This is my latest album that just dropped a few months past, New Horizons. So if you still want to spend some more time with me, feel free to jump over to my channel. I'm going to be starting pretty much right after this.
Okay.
And this has all been leading up to the new album coming out. So you can see where I've come from, and where I'm going.
Right.
And I want to thank anybody who subscribed. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for checking out my music.
Yeah.
Make sure you check me out on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere music is streamed. You can find TJ the Gamer in there. And thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem, bro. Man, we gotta do this again, bro. It may not be interview style, but yeah, man, it's definitely dope chopping it up with you, man. I said, man, I haven't worked with Master Story yet.
Yeah, I would love to come back, man. I would love to do this again.
Yeah. Yep. So this is your boy Il Blurmatic, and also my guest, Master Story Music. Go check him out, guys. The man does music, video game music at that. And pretty much he brings his own flair to it. He's Master Sword for a reason. He's the master with the mic. But all right, bro, I'm gonna let you go, man. And like I said, man, keep doing your thing, bro. I see you're gaining traction and new supporters all the time, man. So yeah, man, it's all about the consistency, the work ethic, and like I said, you got it, man. Like I said, I've seen other musicians, and I'm just amazed. I'm like, whoa, bro, got something else coming out. And keeping up with the Twitter freestyles, man. I see that too, man. It's like, dang, bro, back at it. I like the Twitter freestyles too, man. That's a really dope approach that you have with it.
Oh yeah, we got one of those gonna be coming out pretty soon too. So
okay.
Within the next week or two, we got a new Twitter freestyle that's gonna be dropping. So
okay. Yeah, but this is your boy Il Blurmatic, guys, and Master Story Music, guys. Go check them out if you haven't. And I hope everyone's having a wonderful Saturday or Sunday where you're at. And take care, bro.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Peace out.
All right, peace out, man.